I'm dying, so I spent my children's inheritance and left them with nothing. What you're about to watch is a recent cause of emotional distress for me, regret, and I'm doing this post with the help of my colleague and his son, who insist I'm doing the right thing. I'm Clive 63M, and I took advantage of better times, financially speaking, and managed to get enough money to save, have a good retirement, and leave a good inheritance for my children. However, their actions in recent years has broken my heart. My oldest daughter is a lawyer, married to an attorney. I have another son who is also a lawyer, a third who became an engineer, and the youngest who is a salesman, which can mean my children are very stubborn, but I love them anyway. I have been a smoker for many years, and the predictable outcome has finally caught me, so I do not have many years left. After knowing this, my children began stabbing each other's backs, trying to get their inheritance earlier. Initially were frequent verbal discussions that escalated to legal battles. The boiling point came when my daughter forged her brother's signature to take their part of the inheritance while I was being treated at the hospital. Now none of the siblings can see each other in the eye, and only talk through lawyers, which is ironic, I know. Saddened by this situation, I decided to spend the money thinking that if all of it is gone, they would have no more reasons to fight, and I can have my kids back once again. So I donated to charities, bought my wife their stepmom some nice jewelry and a new car. We went on a few vacations and paid for the better-looking hotel rooms. We also gave my grandkids expensive gifts, bought my dearest friends and colleagues some better equipment to improve their work. We bought a huge TV, prepaid for my funeral, tasted some fine whiskey, among other things. Right now, about 70% of my saving are now gone. I plan to keep enough for the time I have left and leave my wife a good cash amount. However, my children are noticing that I'm spending a lot and have started to ask questions. My daughter figured out what happened on her own. I had no rebuttals, since I'm guilty of all the accusations she made, but then she mentioned that her children will suffer because of my selfish acts. Not only that, but I am cursing all of her grandchildren by doing this. That made me think that my grandchildren shouldn't be punished for their parents' sins, and maybe I was too self-absorbed to realize it sooner. That's my dilemma now. I feel like I've hurt my grandchildren because of my children's actions. Edit. Hi, I'm Original Posters, or Clive's friend's son. I'm writing here because I want to clarify something. Where we are from, whatever savings the person has goes directly into their children and living spouse. This is how the law is written. You can write a will on top of that, but biological or legally adopted children cannot be entirely written out, unless one of the beneficiaries writes themselves out of the inheritance. What his daughter did was forging a signature in some papers saying the rest of the brothers renounced their inheritance, and they are suing at the same time as they try to lock in some of Clive's properties for themselves while he is still alive, basically trying to do that before another sibling does it before them. My relationship with Clive is that my dad and him are lifelong friends and colleagues, so he is kind of like my uncle, as well as my private linguistics teacher. Clive has been reading a lot of your comments, and will wake up tomorrow to read even more comments. I told Clive to post here and help to set up the account, and he wrote the post by himself. Thank you all.